Okay.
Do I hit something to get it going?
No, I hit it to get it going. I'm good. All right. So, Harvey has amassed 15 questions, none of which probably are stupid, which is unfortunate because I'm only good at answering stupid questions. I, like the rest of you, don't remember anything. No, nothing. So it's likely that what I prefer is, rather than Harvey and his 15 questions, which I will be happy to answer, if you will, that'll take all night. I would prefer to start with your stupid astronomy questions, and that can be anything you can conceive of. And as I always tell my audiences, if you can't have anything, I can stand up here for 7 minutes and lecture about just whatever. So, go. Okay, we have a question.
Okay, tell me about dark matter.
Okay, so
What the hell is it?
okay, so you have to know that, of course, I know nothing about any of this stuff. So I'm constantly getting all my information from YouTube videos. And the latest one, my favorite YouTube video person is Dr. Becky. And she tells me that dark matter is not a theory. It's data. What you are asking about is, what's the theory about dark matter? And the answer is, who knows? There isn't a reasonable theory about what dark matter is. There is, however, an enormous amount of data that says there is something that is, we call dark matter. You have to explain it. There's no theory. Thank you very much for that very precise and short question and answer. Yes.
Okay, so I collected questions not only for myself, but also from Bob Chervin and Neil Tanner. Neil was,
What stupid questions?
no, well, here's the first one is Neil's.
Okay.
All right. With the recent discovery of thousands of exoplanets, what do you think is the likelihood that we will receive intelligent messages from one of these worlds during our lifetime? And if one comes, who do you think is the most likely member of our class to receive the message?
I think the answer is clearly you, Harvey. That's clearly you. You're the only one who's still working. I mean, that's absurd. And I mean, most of us have retired 10 or, in my case, 20 years ago. And so you'll get the message. But the answer to the question, what's the likelihood of us getting information? There's this thing, there was a question asked in around 1950 by a group of atomic physicists, among them Enrico Fermi. The question was, where is everybody? And that became the Fermi paradox. And the Fermi paradox has 50 answers, and you can look them up. Okay, and of course none of them are based upon any data whatsoever. So you can invent what you ever like. My favorite answer is that there isn't anyone out there, and has never been anyone out there, because we are the really cool group of people who got to be the best. Lucky. I have 5 fingers. How'd they figure that out? I mean, it's amazing. Everything that I am was a chance getting to be here. There was a lot of other chances in the universe. They didn't make it to where we are today. And so I think we're the only ones. If you don't like that answer, my second favorite answer is that they were all out there every now and then, every million years ago. And if you figure out how many times a million goes into a billion, you can figure out there could have been 1,000 civilizations like ours. Ours won't only last, what is it, another 100 years, if that? So literally, maybe you can fit 10,000 civilizations into the last billion years of our universe. Our solar system is young. There are other solar systems that are older. So really, the possibilities, they all died out, and we're the only one left at this particular point. So those are 2 of the answers. Yes?
Two-phase question.
Two-phase.
How long would it take a crew to get to Mars, and how do we adequately shield them from solar particle events and heavy particles?
So you believe in Elon Musk's bullshit, right? Because it's all.
Don't you dare attribute that to me.
Right. So how are you gonna get, see, the problem that I see is, in terms of getting to Mars, is you have to, who's gonna plant the trees there so we can all enjoy a stroll in the afternoon sun? There's no way that we're ever gonna set up a civilization there. But your question is basically, how long would it take to get there? You can-
And how do you protect the crew
Right. So
from all that radiation en route?
what you do is you put a shitload of water on board, and that will protect you more or less. But that means you have to take an enormous amount of mass, which is not included in the current fanciful stories they're telling people, right? So a lot of mass, water or otherwise, will do
Concrete.
the trick. As far as how long it takes, Holman transfer orbits 6 months, 9 months back, but that's not going to work. We need something faster, and they're building engines in the future that will do that,
Warp
but not
drive.
now.
We need
No,
warp
nuclear engines. Yes, Steve.
So what about getting water off of the moon
Uh,
and then launching from the moon because much lower gravity? So-
Well, launching from the moon is, you have to build a civilization on the moon, an infrastructure, before you can, if you will, supply the water. Yes, it's possible. It's not impossible to get to Mars and do it. We will do it some way, badly probably, but we will eventually get there. Whether we launch from the Earth or whether we launch from the moon, which is 2 miles per second rather than 7 miles a second from the Earth's surface. But we will, wherever we get the insulation from, we'll go to Mars with maybe Elon Musk's dime. Yes, Harvey, again, a background question.
This one I don't think is so stupid.
The problem is that you're all, half
I
of you,
take umbrage.
more of you are PhDs than not, so there's not a chance it's gonna be stupid questions.
Okay, in 2017, telescopes in Hawaii detected that what is now called the Oumuamua object.
Mau, yes.
Maua, okay.
Yeah.
Traveling at high speed,
Yes.
195,000 miles an hour.
Hyperbolic for all the rest of you.
Yeah, that's relative to the sun. And passing through the plane of our solar system,
Right.
so it didn't come from the solar system.
Clearly not.
Right. I'm glad you know about it. Its observed properties indicate that it might be artificial,
Aha.
not
Aha.
made by any,
Aha.
not naturally made.
Artificial.
Yeah.
Why artificial? Okay.
Okay.
Why would you come up with artificial?
Could it have been the remnant of an advanced civilization located in a distant star system? And what more can you tell us about ongoing attempts to identify the source of the object?
Okay, so basically you have this thing whizzing through the solar system. There was another one afterwards, and nobody got upset about that one. But the first one, Oumuamua, came whizzing through the solar system at a hyperbolic object, or orbit, as we all know from geometry. And it left as, we actually saw it on the way out, not on the way in.
Yeah.
But the thing that was funny about what it did is it didn't follow a hyperbolic orbit. What? So it had to have been, it was being propelled. There was absolutely no doubt about the fact that it was being propelled. Now you can decide whether you think it's artificial as a possibility, in which case you're among the people who think that, or if you think it's just outgassing, which it certainly could have been, nitrogen, hydrogen, outgassing from the center of that thing, then no need to explain anything. That's
Would
the
that
answer.
not have been detectable? The gas is
The
coming out?
gas was not detectable. They have theories in which the gas is not detectable. Atomic
That was-
rather than ionized.
But they said that.
So it wouldn't emit, no emission. No
They-
emission
Absorption.
spectrum.
They said
No,
that.
wouldn't, there's no.
Okay, you're not getting it back. You're not
They
getting
they
it.
said that the light that reflected off the surface of the object was different from what it would be if it were an asteroid or other.
No, there's a thing that Carl Sagan invented, a word called tholins, which is the dirty stuff that ends up on asteroids. And that stuff was full of tholins. So nothing normal, nothing abnormal. Toby, I just want to announce, Toby and I have been friends. He's my best friend, okay? Just let you know, okay?
You make me cry. Anyway, representing the minority of non-PhDs here, I put all the other questions were smart questions. I have a dumb question. So here's your lead. What's the difference between a black hole and a white hole?
A white hole is kind of like, well, there's no such thing as a white hole, for one thing, okay?
That's a difference.
And black holes, we know, they're all over the place. They could be even in our solar system, not a trivial possibility. The ninth planet could just as likely be a black hole as a ninth planet.
Pluto?
No, Pluto doesn't count.
Why?
Pluto's
It's
the
not a
eighth,
planet anymore.
Pluto is the first of many dwarf planets.
That's discriminatory.
Yes, it is. But there's no doubt.
The dwarfs are people too.
But the ninth planet, it could be a black hole. But white holes are a theoretical construct in general relativity that is a solution to the laws of general relativity. But in order to construct one, you need something that doesn't exist called negative energy. And since we don't know about a thing called negative energy, and it's unlikely that there will be any in the recent or in the near future, white holes don't exist. That's the difference. Okay, you have another one? Because I could be up here. I can literally be up here for hours.
But you're
and-
not going to.
But I'm not going to. Right, because I'm going to ask Harvey to shut me down. All right, Harvey, shut me down.
Okay, we have about 5 minutes or so. All
Okay.
right. So, here's another one of the 15. We often wonder, what's going to happen to the Earth if an asteroid hits the Earth?
Yeah.
What could happen to the Earth if a large asteroid, like the size of Mount Everest, hits the Moon?
Oh, I never thought of that. But given if you've ever seen, so a Mount Everest kind of thing hitting the moon. So this is what I'm doing calculations in my head right now, right? Partial differential equations. Let me see how it comes out. So basically, the Earth is here, right? If you see a picture of the Earth here, you know where the moon is? It's not here. It's here. That's kind of far distance. So if you imagine the moon being hit by Mount Everest and spraying out a lot of stuff, which it wouldn't spray out a Mount Everest worth of stuff, and if it did, it still would miss the Earth by an awful lot. So probably it would be a bad day
What about
somewhere
the
on Earth.
tides?
What
Oh,
about
nothing to do with tides, nothing.
It wouldn't change the orbit of the Moon?
No, certainly not.
Well, because the Moon
Because it's just, you said, Mount Everest
Yeah,
size.
Mount Everest,
Right,
okay.
then the moon is bigger.
How about bigger than Mount
Right,
Everest?
so given those numbers that you invented, no problem. It would be a bad day somewhere on Earth, that's all.
Hold on a second. Yeah, it's much, much bigger. But what if this thing is traveling at 20,000 miles an hour?
Well, it would be.
It's got an enormous
No,
amount of. and
20,000 miles an hour is not enough.
Okay.
46,000 miles an hour would be a good number.
Okay, how about 46,000 miles? It's got a lot of energy.
Yes, and that's why it would dig a deep hole on the planet. But it would spread it out isotropically, more or less. And so you imagine what the cross-section of the Earth, given something that far away is, would be very small given that amount spewing. That's my number on it.
Maybe we'd have
Do we have,
rooms.
yes.
Where is all the antimatter?
The antimatter, that's a good question, but I'm not a particle physicist to answer that. I'll just say, we don't know, but it's probably in some sort of asymmetry in the laws of physics, probably.
You kind of punted a little bit on the
think?
dark on the dark matter. So are the WIMPs and all those
So
other
WIMPs are kind of
weird-
out these
weird
days.
things,
MOND, M-O-N-D, modified Newtonian gravitation, is still within the possibility, but unlikely.
Modified-
Modified
Newtonian.
Newtonian gravitation. That the word is M-O-N-D. I don't know how it comes out. Modified, I don't know. But that's a possibility.
Is
but
that a
unlikely.
particle or
No,
changing the
that's
theory?
all you do is you tweak Einstein's general relativity and add a little extra term, and it works out perfectly. But you have to really, but it doesn't. It fails a lot of tests because dark matter is everywhere in the data. So if you're explaining dark matter, you have to explain the Big Bang, which has dark matter imprinted all over it. You have galaxies spinning fast, but too fast on the outer limits. It's imprinted there. The galactic clusters are spinning too fast. You have to explain that. You have to explain a lot of stuff. And so it's hard to come up with one theory that explains it. Nobody knows. Really.
Doesn't the mass itself, I mean, isn't the reason that you have to have dark matter because of those things, that is, you need the gravity to make the stars on the outer end of a.
Yeah, dark
But you
mass.
just need you need the gravity.
You
So
need 5 times more mass than we have in
Yeah,
conventional
but-
mass
but-
that makes up you and me.
But that mass could be just whatever that is.
It could be
Right, I
whatever
mean, it
that
doesn't
is.
have to be, I mean, I guess simplicity doesn't work these days, but it doesn't have to be 30 different masses. It could be a mass that accounts for all that stuff.
One of the things, my favorite things, but it does, the people don't like it too much, is it's a shitload of black holes that just happen to be around that we don't see. I like that one. I'm not willing to give that one up. A lot of black holes cruising around the universe, making up that 5 times the amount of matter that we see. Okay, but that's not well thought of. Okay, so I think I should stop now.
No,
Les?
I must ask.
Yes.
Yes, about what is the likelihood that we would have another event like Chicxulub that would,
So they call it 100 million year event. So there are, to this date, we've looked up in the sky and we've eliminated a lot of those things, but there still is a non-zero, not even approaching zero, like even 5% chance that there is an object that big that could cause that much damage that we haven't seen. And the reason we haven't seen it is because we don't tend to point our telescopes directly at the sun, which is blinding, so you don't do that with a telescope. So the object that might hit us is likely to be in an orbit which is sort of coming from the sun and going away. So there is a possibility, but they call it a 100 million year event. So there's
We're
not
getting
true.
close.
We're getting close, yeah. I like the statistical point of view here that it's getting close.
or
Your
if
events happen.
Chicxulub was last year, it couldn't possibly happen.
That's right,
this
that's
year. Right.
that kind of thinking, I love it.
Okay, so,
How
I
many
think,
people have been to Chicxulub? How many people here have visited?
It's underneath.
Chicxulub? Chicxulub is a crater in the Gulf of Mexico, not the Gulf of America, it's Gulf of America, no. Gulf of Mexico, it's off the coast of Yucatan. Chicxulub is the name of a village on the land, on the coast of,
Is that the dinosaur extinction?
yeah,
thought.
that's the
Yeah.
dinosaur.
Nobody can prove it.
Oh, no, that's proven.
You
Chicxulub caused the dinosaurs, that's it.
forfeited any possibility of getting into the White House.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
I wasn't on the list anyway, but anyway, Chicxulub is,
So Laird, you think, you're sure that it caused the dinosaur extinction?
Yeah,
Everything I read points in that direction.
Yeah.
well, it depends which news feed you are. If you're getting a Republican news feed, you may get a little bit in the slanted, we're not sure direction. But if you get an ultra-liberal one, it's damn sure. So it depends upon which feed you get.
Okay, we, I think we need to close this down,
Yes, please.
but,
Yes.
okay, 2 things. One, I have a lot of questions here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, is it okay if I send them out to everybody, including you, and you answer them?
Sure, that's good, that's
All
good.
right.
Okay, next, the thing is that I now am offering or suggesting or inviting or demanding, whichever you like, for you to come up here and say something. And I pick the topic that I think you might want to address. You can address any other topic besides the one I'm about to suggest. But the thing is, you all have gotten to an uncanny age where you now have wisdom. Okay, and the wisdom
We have
you
what?
have is all about.
Now leaking out fast
Is-
it's coming in.
Absolutely.
So I would like you to share your wisdom with the rest of us, and tell us what you know about life, the universe, and everything. Okay, and I invite you all to come up one at a time or in pairs and just shout it out. And we're recording, so at the end, this will be on the internet, on my YouTube channel, and I'll send out links to all of you. So you're next. Who's next? Who's next? Raise your hand. Please raise your. Bill, are you look interested.
He looks
We want Bill, we want Bill.
He looks excited.
You should see him when he's not interested.
Connie, come on. No, come on. I mean, don't we not have somebody who thinks they know something to want to share with the rest of us? Look at me, I did that. Now, you can do the same.
You're
Okay,
al-
got it.
Already showing your lack of wisdom.
Okay, Harvey, I gotta
Oh,
stop on this.
Yeah.
Oh, I.